Hello, hello. So I am broadcasting live in the middle of Ricefield here in Bali, having a Java chocolate smoothie, and just had this sudden, I don't know, calling to just jump on live as I'm just working on a couple of stuff, just doing some rebranding on some of the things that I have. One of the things that I was actually like, I was having a moment here just looking out at the rice fields, just being so grateful and content. First of all, to be in Bali. As some of you may know, Bali has a huge place in my heart, and it has been so for the last 2 years. And if I look back 2 years ago, that was how everything has changed and has led me down this path of fucking amazingness. I think I've spoken about it briefly in different in my blog posts and also a couple of Instagram stories. But 2 years ago, when I made my way to Bali, it was after a 2.5 years relationship that ended. Actually, 3.5 years relationship. So I was here on a study tour, which is essentially really like a tour funded by the Australian government, and I was this close to not going because I didn't know what to expect. And truth to be told, that trip was very challenging because we had to live in the jungle for 2 nights. And let me tell you a little secret. At that time, I had this little urge, actually not little urge, it did cross my mind to somewhat injure myself, as in like somewhat accidentally cut myself from like the branches or something, just so I had to go to the hospital so that I don't have to stay in the jungle. It's crazy. And that is a great example of how putting ourselves out in the comfort zone can be very uncomfortable, and our brain and our subconscious mind would do whatever it takes for us to go back to feeling safe, to feeling secure. And you know, being the dense city girl that I am, living in a jungle in a bamboo hut with with outdoor toilets, without flush, so it's like a biodegradable, like a, what's that called, like compost toilet, and you know, just having showers outdoors with potential of snakes attacking, you know, just a usual day in Bali. But that has taught me a lot about myself and what I'm capable of. So that was 2 years ago, and long story short, I met my mentor, Chris Thompson then, which really pointed out this whole new pathway of remote work, of digital nomadic life, of a complete new possibility of how I can live my life. And I'm forever grateful for that, because after that trip, I set the intention that I'm going to give this remote work thing a go. Because the funny thing is, at that time, I was really kind of working remotely. I was having like 2 consulting marketing gig. And I told them that I was going to Bali, and they were okay with me working remotely for a week. So at the time, I was already working remotely, but I didn't really know there was this whole new, I guess, movement, or like this whole new thing around remote work, and just kind of fall into it. And after the trip, it kind of made me realize that, okay, this is something serious, and I just want to be more remote in the future and not wanting to live in the office. And it's funny because even when I first started my business, I had this idea of wanting a swanky ass office in the middle of Sydney CBD, which is like, now I look back like, what the fuck was I thinking? Because there's no way in hell that I'm gonna plant an office in the middle of Sydney CBD. That's gonna kill my soul, it's gonna kill my life, and I'm just gonna be like dead on the inside. But anyways, the moral of this story is sometimes you don't know what you don't know. I mean, at that time, I would not even consider like searching remote work, even though I was already living that. And this is kind of an opportunity for you guys to start asking questions, to start being curious in things around you, for what you observe, so that you're able to expand your possibility as to what is possible for you. Because at the end of the day, you know, what's possible for you is limited to what you have known so far. So you have not read a book, if you're not hanging out with people outside of your circle, if you've not expand your mind if you've not learned something new in the last year or the last 5 years. Basically, everything that you have, everything that you know, and all the possibilities that you currently have is based on past, and it's based on a limited view, based on your environment and what you've known so far. And girl or guy, let me tell you that the world is a beautiful place, and of course, just like everything else, it's not sunshine and rainbows, it's not all glitters, it's not all unicorn. For example, at the moment, it's fucking hot here in Bali. It's noisy, there's all these different things. But what I'm saying is you need to start looking beyond your current bubble and see what's possible. If you're feeling stuck, if you're feeling unhappy, it's alright. No, you can have it, sorry. Yeah, if you're feeling unhappy, if you're feeling like something is missing, start listening to your inner voice, what's trying to tell you that you're meant for more, that there's something out there bigger for you, that you should go traveling for a month. And from what I understand, not Australia, but based on what I've known from my American friends, is that apparently many companies these days offer like this sabbatical, which they allow you to like go do your thing for a month or so, and then you come back because you have a job. Which, by the way, I find it really weird. And this is where the whole gender inequality thing, whatever, comes in, is that they have a sabbatical option, but they don't have maternity leave, like for moms. Anyways, I don't know enough to comment on that, so yeah, I'm finished. Yeah, thank you to comment on that. So can I put in a takeaway cup for this one? Yeah, thank you. So yes, sorry, I just have to like wrap it up because they're about to shut. But if that's the case, if you know that you're more angry every day than you are happy, something's going to change. Because if you're in your 20s, if you're in your 30s, you're not making any change, you're going to be like this for the next 30 years of your life. I don't know about you, but the thought of being angry for the next 30 years of your life really isn't an option for me, and I'm sure it's not an option for you. So something for you to think about. And I was just going through my screenshots album on my phone and actually look at one of the meme that I posted back in February 2013. So that is 6 years ago, where I was like swearing on how, well, this is going to be one fucking long Monday. That was 3 years into my corporate life. So, you know, to kind of look back on how I was hating Monday, and I actually remember there was one stage in my life where I just start getting angry and depressed and just annoyed on Sunday afternoon, just thinking that I have to go to work on Monday. And that, my friends, it is a very unhealthy mindset. And just think about all the energy, all the space within you that you spend getting angry and frustrated over something that you have a choice to change. And yeah, it's just, you know, you don't have to do anything right now. You know, if you're watching this replay, if you're watching this video like a month down the road, what I want you to do is just to start thinking, like, what if? Like, what would you do if you can work from anywhere, if you can choose your clients, if you're given $1 million right now, or if your expenses are taken care of? What would you do? Go crazy, because, like, it really, you know, like, we are so fortunate to be born in this era where the internet makes literally everything possible, and the fact that you can watch this video, which puts you in a top 10% or 1% bracket of the human population, to have such resources to do what you want to do. So, you know, and yet you make the choice to live a shitty life, to be angry, to just live life by default, as opposed to doing things that you're so passionate about. You know, whether it's creating, you know, maybe your passion when you were younger was to create art, was to serve, was to play some sort of sports, was to do whatever the fuck it is that you want to do, that you somehow buried somewhere and pushed it aside and decided that, you know, life take over and that's something that you wish you could do. Well, stop wishing and just start doing. And that's just a little pep talk for you, because, you know, I get very reflective and emotional every time around this time of the year, because every year, well, in the last 2 years, there's some sort of like transformation that I have. So 2 years ago, obviously, it was like the end of the relationship, which was long time coming, and I mean, I can elaborate more on that to give you perspective on how so often we are stuck within the bubble that we have, and we settle for something less than our heart desire. And even though that we know that it's not right for us, we stay for comfort, we stay because it's easy, and because so was that. And last year was I remember it was a Tauran full moon, which is coming up in 2 weeks. That was when I have kind of started my spiritual awareness journey. I want to say awakening, but I don't think I was actually awakened back then, but I think that was the first time where I was actually kind of properly connected to my inner self. Well, that was when I was like, holy shit, like, this is all in me. After having lived in my logic in my mind for most of my life. I actually have a podcast episode on that, so I'll link it somewhere in the comments later on. But yeah, that's why this time, every time I look back and just keep, whenever I have to make a decision now, I ask myself, when would this opportunity come up again? And would I regret it if I don't say yes to this? And I ask myself, think of the times where I say yes. Like, there might be failures, there might be challenges, there might be struggles, but at the end of each of them, there is always experiences. Those experiences always teach me lessons. And now, when I have like really bad experience, I just see it as a lesson, and they usually have a lesson. So, if someone offers you to go on a trip for 2 weeks, that requires you to have a difficult conversation with your boss, or that requires you to spend a little more than what you should do. I would say go do it, because once you change your environment, it would put you in a completely new perspective, and new perspective is essentially what you need to give you hope, to give you like the view of what is possible if you decide to follow your heart, if you decide to just take action, if you decide to just take control of your life. And I say it based on my personal experience, and I mean, if you know me, like, when I was in my corporate days and who I am now, it is really different. And I'm really grateful for the people that I've met along the way, and the mentors that I've had that has seen, I guess, the gift, or that has believed in me before I believed in myself, and actually pushed me to take those actions, because had they not done so, I would have easily retracted back to my comfort zone. I would have easily retracted back to what is safety for me, what does comfort mean to me. And I might I might have a successful business in Sydney that, with a swanky office, but then I would have hated my life, because, another example is, for a very long time, I thought I liked men in suits. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, men in suits do look hot as fuck. Like, never deny that, and we all love good, swanky as man. But it wasn't until I have ventured out of my type, out of my comfort zone, and saying yes to different dates, that I have actually learned that what I actually like is completely different from what I think I like. And I know it's completely different, but I think that, at the end of the day, our life, like the multifacets of our life, makes up us. And this is a great example. If you don't know what you don't know, and until you actually try it, you will never know. Another example of that is, I always thought I was a city girl. I love city. I could live in a penthouse. But what I love more is being out in nature, doing like silly things, venturing out, adventuring, exploring, being around water. Again, would not have known if I have not said yes to adventures, have not said yes to experiences, have not said yes to things that I would have thought that it's not my thing. So, next time you find just, if you feel like you're feeling stuck, you feel like you don't know where to go, you feel like everything is so mundane and ordinary and boring, and just you need to spice things up, just say yes to things. Go to rock climbing, go surfing, go play, I don't know, like lawn bowling, whatever it is. Venture out your current existing situation. Put yourself in a new environment. Travel if you can, and don't travel like a tourist. Travel like a local. Explore places, get lost, do crazy things, and you'll be surprised what you'll find out. So that's a little talk for a Saturday afternoon. and I should probably pack up now because they're about to shut. So I'm going to show you guys the view of my current workspace because it is dope as fuck. So it's a cafe. This is my setup, and that is the rice patties. And they have a dog and cute guys. There you go. So that is